Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Jenkins. My wife Erin and I are the owners of Pisgah Needleworks. The idea for our shop came about because Erin and I both have a passion for crafting. I love especially to cross stitch. I've been cross stitching since I was a little kid. My dad taught me how to cross stitch, which surprises a lot of people. When I need downtime or just a brain dump, just to sit down and be in the moment, doing a cross stitch kit, that's my therapy, and I absolutely love it. I think of cross stitching as having three levels. You have the beginner level, and then the intermediate level, and finally the expert level. In our store, we have all three levels of kits available. I'm going to show you three works in progress that I've been working on for a while. It depends on what mood I'm in, which kit I'm working on. So there'll be a beginner level kit, an intermediate kit, and an expert kit. We'll talk about what makes them each those levels, and then what you can anticipate when you purchase one of those kits. I'll show you pictures, explain what you're seeing, and then you can make the decision as to which type of kit might be best for you. So I hope you enjoy this journey of creating art with thread and fibers. The first kit I'm going to share with you is by a company called Joy Sunday Cross Stitch. We have several of this company's patterns in the store, and they are super easy because they're not counted cross stitch. In fact, it's printed cross stitch. So as long as you can see the pattern on the cloth, then it's very easy to stitch. With the Joy Sunday cross stitch kits, you receive the cotton fabric, which is called Ada cloth or Aida cloth, cotton thread, a needle, and the instructions. The instructions are very simple. It's a guide to show you which color thread goes with which symbol that's already printed on the fabric. This particular kit has a very limited color palette. It's 11 count cross stitch, which means you'll have 11 stitches, 11 X's per inch of fabric. A printed kit like this doesn't take much time to stitch at all. In fact, I believe I could probably finish this in 1 or 2 days at most. You don't have to refer to a pattern sheet. Once you've looked at the key to determine which color goes with which symbol or which color is printed on the fabric, the stitching comes very, very fast. The next kit is an intermediate level kit. It's called Believe in Santa by the Dimensions Cross Stitch Company. It's 18 count, so you'll get 18 stitches per inch. And as you can see, the design on this one is much more complex than the pre printed Joy Sunday cross stitch design. Here you can see the pattern itself and the number of symbols that are located on the pattern. There is a key that will tell you exactly which colors correspond to which symbol. Because these symbols tend to switch up frequently, this particular project would take some time to complete. It's called counted cross stitch because the Aida fabric is not printed. You have to count each individual block on the Aida cloth in order to be able to stitch it correctly. You can see the work in progress here, and it's a much more complex design, lots of color changes, but you can begin to see the image start to take shape as you see Santa Claus's coat, his belt, the poinsettias, the which are attached to a sled that he's holding in his arm. He's also holding a wreath. I haven't even gotten to the major details of this piece, but you can begin to see it start to take shape. Please notice the way that the Aida cloth is created. You can see the X's, the blocks appear naturally so that there are four holes that surround each of those blocks. It is through those holes that you create your stitches. In the Joy Sunday cross stitch, the fabric is so stiff that you can see the holes very easily. But with the more difficult kits, you can see that the fabric is much softer. The holes tend to be smaller, and so it takes more skill to be able to sew the X's. The expert level kit I'd like to share with you is actually discontinued. It's by my favorite cross stitch artist of all time, Teresa Winsler, who created fantasy motifs. This particular piece is called Romeo and Juliet. It is 28 count even weave cloth produced by the Janlin Corporation. You'll notice that the thread palette for this particular piece is rather large. The color selections are extensive. Teresa Winsler tends to use a blended thread approach to give the piece a more three-dimensional and shimmering appearance. In beginning level cross stitch and intermediate level cross stitch, most often you're using two threads of the same color, but Winsler's approach is to have two threads of two different colors, but they're usually closely related. So it gives you maybe a darker purple next to a lighter purple, or perhaps a blue next to a green. It gives the final piece a very realistic look and a three-dimensional texture. Notice the complexity of the patterns. The symbols change very frequently, and it's very difficult to follow the pattern. This truly is counted cross stitch. Notice how the color changes give depth to the stitching. Notice that with even weave fabric, as well as with linen, it's much harder to see the X pattern as you can on the Aida cloth. In fact, with even weave, you really have to count two threads across two threads in order to do your cross stitching. This is part of what makes it a more challenging and expert level cross stitch pattern. There are also special stitches involved in this, which we will discuss in a later video, that makes this particular type of pattern so complex that only an expert should attempt it. I hope that you found this information useful and that you've decided to take the plunge and begin cross stitch as a hobby. It's an amazing experience and one that I think you'll enjoy. We offer kits at each level, beginner, intermediate, and expert. If you have any questions, please feel free to visit us at www.pisganeedleworks.com, or you can call or text us here at the shop. The telephone number is 336 258 0623, and we'll be happy to help you any way you can. Remember to shop local. Shop Pisgah Needleworks. Thank you.